Chapter 8: Self-Indulgence versus Sacrifice. I've watched parents idolize their children, sparing no expense to make sure they have more than they need, or become obsessed with their sports or extracurricular activities that they forget to work on themselves and their marriage, living their life through their kids to fill a void that they refuse to face. You can support your children by loving them unconditionally, but it can be healthy for them to know what separation looks and feels like. It's not uncommon to see this attachment, and they can be your whole life, but don't let it control your life. Remember, we all have a story, and most come with insecurities, doubts, fears, and baggage that we don't like to think about, let alone share out in the open. We run and we hide from everything we hate because it's easier to fall back on it during tough times rather than look that person in the mirror and be in better shape than those demons. Love your kids, but know that you can't destroy yourself and your time trying to prove to your kids that you love them. Make sure you and your relationships are just as important. So, what is sacrifice? You spend so much time surviving life and living paycheck to paycheck only to find out you need to sacrifice even more. It's literally a 20-year journey, so you must prepare your mind to say, if I keep the problem this big, then it will stay this big. Each piece, each step in the right direction is progress, and it matters how you approach it. Side hustle some work or find a way to sell things to make money. Whatever it is, keep working and keep bringing money in, because through this process, you will find a way to elevate yourself. Each time you find a way to make money, you need to find another way to make more. You can complain about how much things cost, or you can find a way to make more money. Either you expand your side hustle or you find a way to increase your salary at work, but complaining shouldn't be an option. The system is set up to embrace the complainer or the overspender. They need you trapped in order for the trap to work. These side endeavors may not be in line with your plan, but they bring stability, they bring purpose, and they teach you discipline. You can't be ready for something bigger if you don't first prove you can handle it. Money and time management all factor in when striving for your pinnacle moment in life. You should never sit and wait for your big moment. Go for that promotion, earn that small raise, or create the opportunity. Side hustles don't have to be 2 full-time jobs, but the idea is to build a job that will sustain itself. If you just jump from side hustle to side hustle, there's time and money lost starting and building. Each opportunity should help position you to be in a better place the same time next year. You should never call out a dream as big as the world and then demand it happens. You create that plan based off of your dream and then piece by piece build a life to get it. How much are you willing to sacrifice, trusting it will pay off, not knowing when or what the outcome will really be? So many fail to see the mentorship right in front of them because they can't let go. They can't let go of their control to know that when they have great mentorship right in front of their face. We all have control issues because we are trying to get the edge, but the ones who have poor leadership fail to see it. They usually are the ones who suffer the most. You can't let go because you got your claws out and sunk deep into what you believe is yours. The funny part is that it was never yours to begin with. Just because you have a little authority and you thought you were something special. You can't become obsessed and possessed because you're in charge. Self-indulgence will show itself in an ugly way, and it's hard to regain trust. Fighting through sacrifice isn't always pretty. I always had a vision to go to college and get my bachelor's degree. So I started college right out of high school, and I was able to finish my associate's degree. However, no money and certain circumstances sent me back home to find work. After finding myself in manufacturing, my career and financial situation took off, so finishing my bachelor's degree fell further and further away. Years later, after kids and trying to establish what I wanted to do with my career, I had to sacrifice to finish college online through night school. The discipline alone to finish it after work and on the weekends was insane. So many things missed because of school to be where I saw myself years later is what I had to do. As painful as it was, I knew I had to cut off everything and finish that degree. The time spent away from my family, the hours sitting at the desk, and the stress of writing a report was sometimes unbearable. I often questioned if it was worth it, but I told myself a long time ago that I was going to break the chain of destruction and achieve everything I put my mind to. I said I wanted to get my bachelor's degree and ended up making it to the finish line, graduating with honors. It really was the foundation to what I pursued from that day and each day going forward. So, what's your inspiration? What do you want out of life? The answer to life's secret is creating a life that is filled with life. Allow those moments to be what fulfills you. Use the universe and lean on it when you pray or meditate. Relationships require work, patience, and more effort than you're probably willing to give. The answer is simple, but the journey is difficult. It will feel overwhelming and you will want to give up on the fight many times. You will question everything you thought you knew about this life, but I assure you that it's your negative mental, physical, and spiritual condition that puts fear and doubt into your mind. The world doesn't forget to turn, and the sun doesn't miss rising, so your mental, physical, and spiritual state should be no different. Fulfillment is now, not some big moment years later. Stop waiting for happiness to find you. You must wake up by saying thank you, and then allow the universe to work. If you still feel empty this morning, it's because you won't let go. Let it go. How long will you hold on? Mindlessly wandering with no purpose should not be an option. Today, I want you to free yourself from what's holding you back. Enough is enough. What you're doing isn't working, so stop feeling sorry for yourself. It's now, and it can be beautiful, but you must believe it will work out even through the bad days. You must meditate to free the mind, and that's how you know. It's not an answer. It's an out-of-the-body experience that connects with your soul. Being blessed feels like a condition, but in reality, it's a position. Why would you ever feel like you don't deserve to make it big or that you deserve just as much? As Franklin stated, a small leak will sink a great ship. In perspective, a small amount of pride and arrogance can sink your whole life. You must picture your life to where it was, where it is, and where it's going. Let's look at life in reverse psychology and see what it looks like to be a loser. See what it looks like on the other end of the spectrum. How to be a loser in 10 days. Remind yourself you're ugly. You have no purpose but to eat, sleep, and die, so go to work and get a paycheck because that's what they said you should do. Don't seek peace because that takes time and effort. Don't believe in anything. People will let you down anyway. Blame everyone for your problems. They are the reason you're not where you want to be. Avoid failure. It costs too much and weighs on the mind and body. Sleep in. Who cares if you don't follow through or hold on to any responsibility? Trust no one and make sure you're always on the defense. Make a scene. You're always right. What can go wrong? Consider yourself as the priority and put no one before you. Seek pleasure even if it hurts those around you. Expect to lose. You don't need the pressure to win or succeed. Do you see how ridiculous these things sound if you were to play them out in your life? You would have no chance to survive because the universe doesn't accept this behavior as favorable to be blessed. Your reward is knowing you can change your life and the lives around you just by being your best version of yourself. Many people will destroy their lives or ruin their health trying to stay in the loser's bracket. No one wants to fail or lose, but do you have the will to win? Hang out with a few below average people and see how you feel. See if you're inspired to be never that mind frame again. If you want to be a winner, you can't walk, talk, and act like a loser. Becoming a champion is a choice and a commitment. Champions don't quit, and they don't give up because the road got tough. Again, commitment. Follow through and reaffirm what the universe has called into action because you put it into play each day. It's easy for us to see a successful person and say, yeah, it's easy for them because they have it all and nothing to lose. We miss seeing what sacrifice and the mental battle they overcame to get it. They also didn't stare at someone winning and make the same excuse. They didn't stop chasing what they knew would be their amazing moment one day, and then they brought it home. So what are you chasing? We were created to live, but why does it feel like we were created to suffer? People just want to be happy, yet here they are, still not satisfied. Happy means feeling contentment and enjoyment because of the life and our life to be a part of it. We have moments of joy, maybe even an event we attended, family celebrations, proud accomplishments, and the list goes on. So why do we have all of this, yet we are still not fulfilled? It's because we only know and understand the laws of suffering as if it's a curse. We are intimate with these laws because we spend so much of our time in the realm of those thoughts. The law of suffering says you were born into this sin-cursed world and you will go back to the grave the same way. The law of attraction states what it can be when you make it what you want it to be. Just as the mind can self-destruct, so it can become the avenue of wealth and happiness. Why would the mind not work both ways? Do you have the ability to look at yourself and admit you need to change? Many people know this, but don't make the goal that they feel that they can never achieve. This always gives them something to complain about along the way. Change is also knowing that it takes time. You can't say today I'm going to turn off the old way and then turn on the new and then be puzzled when you don't get instant results. There is a strategy in life that always wins. You will find it if you discipline yourself to respect the process of learning and avoid always trying to find the solution. We focus so far ahead to the result that we miss the training and discipline along the way that creates stronger futures. Focus on the system so that it sustains itself. Find consistency through hard work, effort, and sacrifice to get what you want later. You may trust your instincts, but understand that there's a lot of teaching and learning to do in order for it to work. My grandpa used to come flying after us grandkids with anything he could get his hands on. I remember him chasing us around the yard with the broom, and I'm pretty sure he had all intentions to let us have it. Did we deserve it? Most likely. And I'm assuming now, as an adult trying to jump in the leadership world, you may need that broom across your backside as well. Like most, you will try to convince yourself or tell others that your situation is different and that you've been dealt some bad cards, that everyone is against you and that you're just down on your luck. All of those things are excuses, and you need to get over yourself. If you are owning your truth and surrounded by leadership like this, then have the professional courage to let them know. If it's you and you can't separate self-indulgence from sacrifice, then recognize it and let someone else drive. It's not your time. Self-indulgence thrives off of me, but always ends in tragedy. Sacrifice honors its value now and its value once it's earned. The paradigm between what sacrifice starts with to where it ends always carries a set of skills that can't be taught. These hard lessons learned is what defines sacrifice from self-indulgence. Psalm 73, 2-3. But as for me, my feet had almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold, for I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked.